Good morning, everybody. Kevin here from Watch This with Joe and Kevin, back for episode 5 of Halt and Catch Fire. I really loved the last episode in that we got to kind of see like all of the horror show that is a significant part of Joe's drive in the setup with the reporter being there and basically feigning the loss of all of their data. He is monomaniacal in all the ways that, like, use the phrase disruptor gets thrown around a lot, but in all the good and the bad that comes from a true disruptor. I think in 2025 that term disruptor gets thrown around a lot for people who don't really qualify, right? Like social media influencers consider themselves disruptors, and I disagree completely in terms of the level of world impact. They might have a little bit of cultural impact, but it's not the same thing as what Joe's doing here as far as changing like the shape of the planet ultimately. We have fraud disruptors. You have your Elizabeth Holmes people, right, who fancy themselves disruptors and model themselves after Steve Jobs, but they're not Steve Jobs. And Joe seems like a true believer and really hardwired in his monomania to kind of get this done. And, again, there's good and bad that comes with that. He's definitely going to move the needle, but he does not mind collateral damage. And I feel like we've seen that already through 4 episodes, and we're probably going to see it for the entire run of the show. It's just hardwired into his character. It's really Machiavellian, right? He does not mind. The ends justify the means, and I guess it really kind of depends on if you're okay with that, the people are going along with him. What we saw at the end of the last episode was Donna and Gordon talking about what a monomaniacal manipulator he is, and Donna being horrified by it, but Gordon saying, well, did it work? Gordon is kind of more of a true believer and willing to go along, agreeing with the Machiavellian approach. The ends justify the means. And Donna, who seems like a really decent person, not being so on board. Not that Gordon's a bad person, but he's definitely willing to look the other way when it comes to Joe's bad behavior. And I really want to see how that manifests itself moving forward. And I like the idea of Donna being more of a presence on the show as a foil to kind of the pathological horror show that is part of who Joe is, if that makes sense. Anyway, we should go ahead and get started here. I do want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being here with us, and I'd like to give a special thank you to our super patrons: Actuarial Lurker, Balazs Foldes, Chris, Derek Peterson, Jamie Morgan, Jeff, Christy Goverston, MJ, Sudugunda Varapu, Torgir Lingstad, WerePanda47, and Trey Contreras. Thank you so much, guys. We're really glad you're here with us. If you would like to see a full-length reaction to this and all the other stuff we've watched or we're watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. Every show, including Halt and Catch Fire, we're at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon of where we're on YouTube. On everything on Patreon, due to copyright law, you will have to sync and watch along on your own source material. You're only going to see and hear me due to copyright law. Yeah, wash off your terrible day. Okay, well, it looks like Cameron's actually sleeping in a bed and not the office. That's a good move. Well, that's quite a shot. Nude silhouette. I like the contrast of the dark, blue, unfeeling life that is Joe getting up, and the color and the brightness coming from Cameron. She's smiling. Oh, she's staying in a hotel. I guess she got paid.
Yeah, I need a taxi to take me to Eaton Microtech Labs.
So we had a time jump here. Has she gotten paid off by Cardiff and moved on to another company? Because her contract was just for the BIOS. Oh yeah, I forgot that John had him beaten up. So this hasn't been that long. Cameron should be able to get a good job even if she didn't graduate. She can just say, I wrote a complete BIOS by myself.
I just wanted to bring you this. You were quoted several times.
Oh, you mean Susan Fairchild?
I was going to say, was it a real name?
What's the occasion?
Dad's birthday. I thought that's why you came home. You got him a butter.
Well, look what the cat dragged in. You should come to the club with me today. Play quick 9?
I got work I gotta do. Is it a calculator?
No, it's a TV.
Isn't that thing incredible?
Yeah.
I just arranged an exclusive deal with Kazoku to carry them in our fall catalog.
These are catalog people. I'm kind of wondering if the joke is that, like, they're going to be obsolete anyway.
How will your computer compare to the IBM XT?
Oh, plus, a few bonus extras.
Like what?
Portability?
Now, what about speed? That seems to be all our customers care about. I heard you guys were flirting with the 286.
Yep.
Did they not get it?
I'm just a carpetbagger from New York.
Oh,
They won't listen to me.
All the specs are right there in those packets that we gave you.
he doesn't know.
Y'all can read, right?
We were experimenting with the 286, but in the end it would only cost your customers an arm and a leg, so we're going with an 8 megahertz 8086. Let's cut to the chase and get to the question you came here to have answered.
So Joe was going to let him dangle for a second.
What do we put on our third shelf? Not the first shelf, that's reserved for IBM.
Joe is good at his job.
This isn't an IBM compatible clone. This is the new compatible. IBM will have to clone us.
But Joe just reestablished his dominance there after the beating. That was really good. That's great writing. John couldn't answer their questions. So who's really in charge? I'm kind of wondering how long in the show John and Joe's relationship is adversarial, if they ever kind of get on the same page. Or if it's always going to be a power struggle. New job?
Welcome back. How was your trip?
Oh,
Who are
never
all these
mind.
people?
Your team
I
of
assumed that she
software
was,
engineers. This is Steve, our software
moved on.
development manager. Steve, this is Cameron.
Look, I can handle all the software myself. I already mapped out the design on the plane.
Who told you to do that?
Wait, did you send me to Cincinnati so that you could hire Steve and his little minions behind my back?
Don't be paranoid. I see you to Cincinnati because you needed the rest.
Okay, so she's keeping her job. I mean, it's the right thing to do. I thought she would leave and come back.
I wrote the BIOS. I name it. Lovelace. Not Linda Lovelace, you pervs. Ada Lovelace. As in the first
I was
computer
thinking Linda
programmer
Lovelace,
ever.
too. What was in Cincinnati, by the way? Was that a vacation or there was like a conference or something?
Champagne!
I just promised a room full of retailers a briefcase. You couldn't fit this crap in a gym bag.
You mean overpromised?
Did you ever sell a computer before I showed up here?
Well, we should probably turn it off. I think it's starting to smoke.
I asked you to do a failure analysis report.
I did. It's here. It got mixed up with this supplemental report I did.
Thanks.
Apologize.
Next time, just make sure the report I need is on top.
Oh, God. Just say you're sorry. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was here.
Get weight out of the case. Give us 1, 2 pounds max. Joe wants this thing to be 10 pounds lighter. Okay, everything is riding on us getting this right. And no one's leaving here until we do. You got that?
Yes!
I'd rather be pounding China
Whoa.
with Brian at 3 in the afternoon, because that could be arranged.
Over the line, man.
What if we swapped out the CRT for an LCD? It's lighter and smaller. And way over our budget. Not if you know a guy.
His father-in-law?
I'm Lev. That's Kenneth, but everyone calls him Yo-Yo.
Is that the guy from Walking Dead? I wonder how much money they spend on getting this old software and hardware. I love it.
You playing games?
Do you mind?
I assigned you to write print drivers, not play games. Well, didn't you check the flowchart? I mapped out all the subroutine assignments and which order to do them in.
Print drivers are remedial. Why aren't I working on a compiler?
This isn't going to last. So they gave her a crap
Is that
job.
adventure? I can tell by your keystrokes. That thing's heroin. Took out my graduate seminar the night before our final.
Perfect time for you to come out. This place empties out for a long weekend.
Yeah, that was a really nice gift you got the girls, the Kazoku watch.
I know you think I spoil them.
No, you should spoil them. Sounds like you got a really good relationship with the guys over at Kazoku Electronics.
We're talking shop. He knew all of it.
I need a new LCD screen for my computer, and Kazoku has the best technology.
You had me convinced you actually wanted to play around at golf with me for my birthday.
Like, I really need this.
I won't let Donna go through that again.
Look, this isn't like last time, I promise you.
How's it different?
It's completely different. And I got a whole team of engineers that are busting their asses for me. And you know John Bosworth. I mean, Cardiff's a solid company.
They'll have to meet with you. They don't do business without a face-to-face.
Yeah, no, I'll clear my schedule.
You should have waited till the end of the round.
Do you want me to call your father?
What?
Your father. You just missed him. He has a layover this Thursday in Dallas on his way to Hong Kong.
Is he over at IBM? That kind of just got the feel that he's the one who got Joe in an IBM.
Did he say where he's staying?
The Carrington Hotel.
Call him and tell him I'll meet him at the lobby bar at 1 o'clock.
I'm kind of wondering where this sociopath came from. I hope we do get to meet him. Don't get in your head. Just go in. Is he going in now or is he leaving?
What are you doing arranging a vendor meeting
left.
without me?
They were headed back to Tokyo in the morning. It was now or never. They've developed cutting-edge LCD technology. You want our computer to be under 12 pounds and slim as a briefcase? This is how we do it.
They'll gouge us.
I have a connection. He can get them down on price.
How do you have a connection?
It's a small industry. You meet people.
Just say it's your father-in-law.
Change the reservation to Woodson's. Japanese don't come to Dallas to have a shrimp cocktail dressed up like a sushi roll. They come for steak.
That's probably true, actually.
Good call.
Hey. Nice work.
I was wondering if he's just pouting.
Check this out.
Oh no, the printer only prints text. Wait, you added a graphics mode? Cool.
Friday, a bunch of us are going to that KCYD car thing, then to dinner, if you're interested.
Well, how are we doing over here?
This guy kind of
I'm
sucks.
finished.
Did you check off your module on the flowchart?
No, I just told you I'm finished.
If you have a problem, you can come by my office and we can discuss it like adults. No need to get your panties in a wad.
Whoa. Cross the line.
I'm not wearing any panties. But you can stick that in your flowchart. You have to get rid of that tool.
Which one?
I'm not kidding. He's a terrible manager. He can't see the forest for the trees. You have to get rid of him.
Cut him some slack. He's under a lot of pressure.
What? I could handle the pressure.
You're not exactly a people person. You have no management experience or any job experience, really. You dropped out of college.
Because you begged me.
Yeah, for sure.
If I've given you the impression that because of this thing we've got going on that you're entitled to special treatment, I'm sorry.
I feel like he goes out of his way to be unlikable sometimes.
I'm just taking this little thing we've got going off the table.
Good. Good.
I left some stuff at your apartment, so you can tell Steve I'll report for duty tomorrow.
Don't blame her one bit. I can't believe he did that. Give him some slack. He's under pressure when he wouldn't give her one bit of slack.
Business cards with both hands. It's a sign of respect.
I've been to Tokyo 9 times.
Gordon Clark, it's a pleasure to meet you.
We would do anything for the son-in-law of Gary Emerson.
There it is.
I'm Gary's son-in-law.
I like Joe's satisfied smile there. It's like, okay, this is how you got this. Oh, no.
Oh, sorry. Hope I didn't scare you. I'm Joe McMillan.
How did you get in here?
I showed the super my license. You say something with the right authority, you generally get what you want.
I'm just here to get my stuff.
What an awkward introduction.
Didn't know Joe had a girlfriend.
I'm not his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So what did he do to make you so mad at him?
What did he do to make you so mad at him? If you had to lie to the super to get into his apartment, I'm guessing you're not exactly chummy.
That's fair.
Touche.
Yeah, she's smart.
Well, it was nice to meet you, Miss... I never caught your name.
Cameron.
When my guys came back to New York, they couldn't stop talking about this prodigy named Cameron Howe.
They did offer her a big job.
Oh, yes. They said, you're the modern Ada Lovelace.
Oh, nice. Good callback there.
It's really an amazing work of engineering. The one question I have is, how do you scale this to a bigger size without the display blurring? What if you laid in a third layer of microcapacitors?
It would cost you more.
Yeah.
You take a lower margin on the individual screens. We'll give you a percentage of our profits on the back end. It's the best I can do.
Combine.
Combine.
Pirate just pounced on me and stole my treasure.
No, you shut up. You.
Oh, it's like Twitter.
Hey, you. Come with me.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Is this the part where John tries to learn more?
How the hell do I get out of this godforsaken cave?
I think he is. I think he's making nice with the tech guys.
Really
Stop
looking
touching
forward to working
him.
with you.
Hi.
I'll take my father-in-law. I mean, have you ever even looked through the razor's edge?
He's going to insult them. Oh my God. They like his dad. Shut up. Gordon is not a networker.
Walk.
Is he drunk? Wouldn't be the first time.
I noticed an Air Force pin on your backpack. Your father's?
Yeah.
I was a naval officer in the Pacific. If anyone had told me one day I'd be flying to Tokyo every month and bowing to them.
Yeah, it's probably true. Like, shout out to Mad Men there.
I knew right then I wanted to work for Big Blue when I got out. Best company in the world. I still don't understand what possessed Joe to leave. I was surprised you turned us down. You're in line to be another programmer no one remembers.
Yeah, instead of writing software for a brand new machine, I could have been getting coffee for the guy who warms the seat for the guy who writes the software.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was out of line. You're not the one I'm angry at. Your dad's lucky to have a daughter. I bet you'd never stand him up if he came to see you. He didn't make it back, did he?
She's being recruited to the big pond.
They picked up the check. Are you too drunk to comprehend that means they're done with us? I should never have let you come.
Let me come?
Nothing says don't trust us quite like bad-mouthing your own father-in-law. You have no idea.
Hey,
He's right.
I'm not the one screwing cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like
We're
that's
out
not
of this.
gonna blow up
Go
in
back
our
to
face.
the workstation with the rest of the grunts.
Yeah, Gordon did really blow that. That was obvious.
Your dad's gonna kill me.
Well, I bet it wasn't as bad as you think.
Like, I really screwed the pooch this time.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad he knows.
We can talk more about this when you get home.
Okay, yeah, I'll...
I swear Donna should have been at that meeting instead of Gordon.
What, Gordon?
It's Hunt. I had a chance to go over that other report of yours, and I want to say I was really impressed.
Okay, this is his apology.
I wanted to apologize for snapping at you the other day.
Oh, well,
Good for
it's
him.
no big deal, really. Just yelled at my kids when I got home. I'm just making some peach pies for my parents' barbecue.
I love peach pie.
This feels flirtatious.
Do you put vodka in your dough? My granny, she used to substitute half the water for a shot of vodka. Better let you get back to bacon. If you have any left over, feel free to save me a slice.
Okay.
Good night, Donna.
Flirty. That was definitely flirty. And she's gonna do it.
It's kind of urgent.
Guess go home, man.
He's drunk.
Yeah.
What happened?
Man, he's just taking this from bad to worse. She's still at Joe's place? Oh, yeah, she is.
Joe's all wrong about you.
Is he?
Joe's wrong about a lot of things.
I don't know
How
that I
close
trust
is he
this
to
guy.
giving up on all this?
Yeah, he's fishing.
I don't know. He's pretty determined.
You know how he got his 3 promotions at IBM? One time he actually lied to his supervisor, warned him that he was going to be let go, and then strongly suggested that he tender his resignation to maintain his dignity.
That's gross.
Well, if you say something with the right authority, you generally get what you want.
Yeah. You can't trust this guy.
What, did you actually think I was gonna roll over and just tell Joe what a great guy you were? You're both disgusting.
I don't think you understand who you've gotten into bed with. I gave him the world, and he spat in my face. He thinks everything belongs to him, you included.
She's right. They're both gross. Joe and Joe Sr. There's a lot of damage there. So does Cameron empathize more with Joe now that she's met his dad? Or she just realized that, well, I can see where the apple fell from. So does Cameron empathize more with Joe now that she's met his dad? Or she just realized that, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see where the apple fell from. 'Cause, well, I can see w
We made a mistake last night. We offended you. And for that, I am sorry. I'm not exaggerating when I say that I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for my father. He taught me the ropes. He taught me everything I know. He told me to swing for the fences, and I've never stopped swinging. But I will do anything to make you reconsider being in business with us.
That was actually really good of Joe.
Sir? You forgot your magazine.
I'm done with that.
Oh, wow. Oh, that is so great. He got out of there before his father saw him. Right there at the same hotel.
Don't bother. You're fired.
Excuse you?
Oh, and it's not because you're a tool, which you are. Do you want to have all your software programmed in 11 weeks for half of what you're spending?
Is this a trick question?
Brooke said that adding programmers to speed up a software project only makes it later.
She's got a real attitude problem.
How would you know which programmers to keep? Do you even know their names?
Power
How many
move.
of you
I
got
love
sucked
it.
into adventure last night? And how many of you got out of the cave by breaking the code?
Those are the ones she keeps.
Lev, Yo-Yo, the rest of you guys who cheated, you get to keep your jobs. Those of you who played fair and square, thank you very much, but you can go home. To play an
power
honest
move.
game, you have to be good at solving puzzles. But to cheat, you have to be great at solving code.
Steve, I'll write you a nice letter of recommendation.
Steve's not a bad guy, but he was out of his element there.
Gordo!
Thanks, Gordon.
Is he being
Yeah, Steve
toasted
told
for
me
something
good news
Joe
about
did?
the LCD screen. Figured you'd come by my office.
I got work to do.
Don't you think you owe me a thank you?
No, Joe. Actually, I don't.
Gordon tell you how he almost tanked the deal?
This is unnecessary,
First
man.
he does 8 shots of whiskey trying to keep up with the Japanese.
But you didn't save a damn thing. Gary did. After I went to his house, got down on my knees to convince them to reconsider. The deal was done before you ever got to the hotel.
Oh,
Want his
twist.
phone number?
Serves him right. That was really a terrible move on Joe's part.
You guys take off. I'll figure out the heating problem.
Oh, his hand's shaking there.
I saw you took your stuff out of my apartment last night. And a few things that don't belong to you. Don't get me wrong, I think it's sweet that you wanted to read the article in the Wall Street Quarterly. I just need it back so I can send it to some retailers.
Your dad came by the apartment. He took it.
Yeah. I'd like that she wasn't going to tell him. A little more insight in the very twisted world that is Joe.
We're gonna stay here, Joe. That sucker is flat as a pancake. Come on up here, ladies.
I would be stunned if Joe shows up to this thing. John's there. John's a man of the people. I thought it was a contest prize. I didn't think they were paying to destroy it. Oh, Joe is there. Looking very comfortable and fitting in. Well, he got himself healthier again. Exercising a few personal demons here. I'm not sure how much more we're going to get out of Joe Sr. That might have been a one-off with him, but man, it was really revelatory in terms of who Joe is and why he is. There's a very large shadow being cast. I like the conversation he had about how I am who I am because of my dad, and he didn't really get too much into whether he considers that a good or a bad thing. But it's clearly very valid. He is living in a shadow. There's, excuse me, hiccupy. The source of his insecurity, which he clearly has, you know, it's played for 4 episodes, I think intentionally, that whatever those injuries are has a lot to do with why Joe is how he is. And it's a physical manifestation, right? That happens a lot in really, really good writing, like in really good literature, right? The scar to show, you know, the external scar to show the internal damage of a person. I think Captain Ahab, right, his body length scar in Moby Dick. Harry Potter, right, and the lightning scar on his forehead that largely shaped who he is from that encounter. And that's Joe, kind of wearing those scars on the outside to kind of reflect his internal damage. And I think this is the first time we get to see kind of the source of that damage, rather than thinking whatever caused the external scars is largely to blame. I think the internal stuff largely coming from his father, and you kind of get the sense of who his father is in this episode, and there's a lot of Joe Jr. and his dad in terms of playing people and manipulation and like kind of like Cameron pointed out, the idea of you get what you want when you ask with a certain amount of authority, and that's completely how Joe behaves when he's at work all the way through. This was a tough episode for Gordon. He's really struggling to kind of, Joe's dragging him along on this journey that kind of has taken not just the company but Gordon himself from 0 to 100 in terms of pace and drive and what they're trying to execute. Gordon's capable, but he is along for a ride that I don't think he's really ready for yet. I think he'll get there, and I hope he gets there. I don't think that Gordon is going to be like behind the 8 ball for the entire run of the show. I think Gordon's every bit as compelling a character as Joe is, but man, his life is very much held together by Donna. I don't think his life is possible, and I think she said something along those lines, right, in an earlier episode. I know the kids' pediatricians, and I know what they're allergic to, and because I'm the one who makes everything possible. And I think that's completely accurate. She is not only a full-time worker, which she is, and brilliant, but she has to kind of hold their family together. She's the glue that really does that in a way that kind of demonstrates that Gordon gets away with a lot of detachment, right? I don't have to be responsible for anything because I know Donna is always going to be the responsible one, which is really unfair to her, right? We're at that age in American history where women married women are entering the workforce hard, some out of necessity and some out of desire, and society hasn't yet caught up to the idea that that the mother in the family unit is in the workforce just as much as the father now, but the father hasn't caught up to the idea that doesn't mean he just gets to work and the wife has to like run the household. Just adding that to all of the career stuff too, and it's really unfair. And I think it was fairly common. I don't know. It might still be that women are like, yeah, you have to work now as part of this family, but you also still have to do all of the stuff that women had to do prior to entering the workforce, right? You have to do all the cooking and the cleaning and manage the household and manage the budget and make sure everybody gets where they're going and everything is taken care of and the house and our lives don't fall apart. And it's a really impossible position that she's in. And I mention it now because the clear flirtation with her boss on the phone, mostly coming from him, but it seemed to be effective, right? I think the symbolism of her adding the vodka to her pie crust mix shows that it did. But at the same time, there is, the simple fact that he was willing to apologize, to own his mistakes a little bit, and to show her a little like genuine respect is something that Gordon sometimes comes up short on, and I can understand her frustrations with him. Very much so. She has every right to be frustrated, and I don't blame it. You can't really blame her for manifesting itself in her receiving praise and appreciation from somebody else. Obviously, no lines have been crossed in any way yet. I don't know if the show's leading us there. It might happen. It may be a simple situation where Donna realizes this marriage is largely untenable. I shouldn't be the one responsible for carrying the entire family on my back. I think it's a great dynamic. I think it's period appropriate. Kind of excited to see where it goes. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you being here. I will catch you on the next one.